way I'm going to do this. So this is all going on. Still have the heartbreak in the background. I have like all these additional payments I got to pay for. I have this loan I got to figure out. My housing situation's absolutely ridiculous. And I get kind of into drinking again, and I start smoking weed to kind of cope with the issues. And, it was bad. I was smoking weed like 3 times a day. I was like smoking first thing in the morning, numb myself up nice and good, smoke before I go to work, so then I could deal with the drama at work. It's not going to bother me as much. I would smoke when I get home, have some drinks. And it was fucked up, and I do not recommend that at all, because you get into a routine, and it's self-destructive. And it was dark. And all the while, I had nobody that I could go to. I had no friends. I had no family here. I felt alone. And I was alone. And, just when I thought it couldn't get any worse, I had been looking at other places, to live, because like my house was getting frustrating. I couldn't do it anymore. And eventually I found somebody to sublet my room out, because I had been trying to move for like 2 or 3 months, because I was just like, I need more privacy. Like, this shit's ridiculous. I'm sick of cleaning up after people. I just wanted my own apartment, my own space. And eventually found someone to take the room on, which, because it was expensive, I had a hard time finding somebody. And then I did. And the timeline was basically I had 2 weeks. I had 2 weeks before I had to move out. And I had no idea what I was going to do, because I didn't have an apartment lined up. Everything is extremely expensive. Like I said, the apartments here are really, really expensive. So to find something that's affordable and to live on your own is very difficult, not to mention in a short time frame. And I found a place, I checked it out, and I was like, listen, dude, I'll take it. I'll give you the money up front. I'll give you the security and first month's rent right now. He's like, oh, don't worry about it. I just have some paperwork to fill out. You just got to do a background check, and then you're good to go. 8 hours later, he texts me and says, oh, I found somebody else to take the room. And I was just like, are you fucking serious? It was like, I think I still have the text message. It like pissed me off so much. It was like so disrespectful. Like, what a prick. And everything was just going through my head. Like, this all felt like a huge mistake. I moved to Long Island for my girlfriend, who broke up with me. And, although it's on and off, she doesn't want anything to do with me now. My job's miserable, stressful. I'm making okay money, but, there's tons of jobs that pay way better. I dropped out of grad school, so that was the second reason that I even moved here. So I'm not furthering my education. I dropped out, which I never thought I'd do. I feel like I'm a disappointment to my family, to my dad, to my grandparents, who are so proud of me for making it this far. I disappointed myself. I had no friends, like I already said. I had no family there. And now I was on the verge of having to move back to where I grew up, to live in my parents' house, feeling unsuccessful, like I accomplished nothing, like I lost all this money, because I lost 15 grand by going to the school that I went to. I owe a freaking lump sum of debt that I don't know how I'm going to pay for. And I'm either going to have to move into my parents' house, or I'm going to be homeless. And it was rough. It was tough. And yeah, the alcohol and the marijuana helped kind of, I used the word numb the pain. But as soon as I came back to consciousness, it was still there. It was temporary relief, but it was still there. And you got to deal with that. And I remember it was in December, and I was talking to my ex-girlfriend. I asked her to hang out, and she said no. And she's like, I can't do this anymore. Like, you got to leave me alone. And I had a full-on panic attack. And this was the first time I ever had an anxiety attack. And it was like rapid breathing, but I couldn't breathe at all. It was just tightness in my chest. I was shaking uncontrollably. It was overwhelming, and it wouldn't subside. It went on for minutes and minutes and minutes and minutes. It was like 15 minutes long, at least. It was overbearing. And I thought to myself, because throughout all of this, I would wake up and I was miserable. I had no purpose in life. I was upset every day. It was just depressing. And that depression doesn't only affect you emotionally and psychologically, definitely. Ruins your self-esteem. You feel like nobody wants you. But it depresses you physically with your breathing, short, shallow breaths, shoulders hunched over. Instead of your chest out, your chest is concaved. Your shoulders are rolled. The way you walk is different. Your mannerisms are different. You're not happy. And it's just pessimism takes over you. And there's been a couple times where, I thought about, like, what if I didn't have to wake up to this? I used to go to a therapist, and she asked me, like, if I ever thought about suicide. And I was like, well, hasn't everybody? Like, I feel like it's a normal thought. Like, what if I did? I didn't straight up, like, have a handful of pills ready to fucking out myself or have a gun put in my mouth. But it was a thought. But this was, like, the darkest it's ever been. And I remember I've always been agnostic. And I've never really believed in God. I've questioned it. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't, but I didn't know. And being a man of science, I was like, well, there's no proof of it, so why should I believe it? But the whole purpose of religion is faith. It's having faith that there's something out there. And I remember sitting there, I was drunk. I was laying in bed, and I just said aloud to myself, please, God, change my life. Please change my life. Please change my life. Please change my life. Like, I'm a good person. Like, please. And it was shortly after that point, like, it was when I had that panic attack. I saw this video. One of my idols is Tekashi 6ix9ine, which is odd because he's not an idol to many people. He's a little reckless. He's a troll. But he's an idol to me. He inspires me. And I love his music. He's a rapper. For those of you that don't know. Rainbow hair, rainbow grills, 6ix9ines on his face and arms and everything. He's hilarious. He's a funny guy. But he made a video talking about his cures for depression. And what he says is, if you're ever thinking about taking your own life, just don't do it. There's people that care about you. You've got moms, you got dads, you got aunts, you got uncles, you got friends. There's people that care about you. Even the guy at the bodega, down the street, he cares about you. And taking your own life, committing suicide, that's not cool. And yeah, you're taking that pain away from yourself, but you're inflicting that pain on so many other people. And that's not cool. I was like, he's making a good point, because it is a very selfish act. And he says so eloquently shortly after that, you know, if you're ever thinking about it, just there's always 6ix9ine's music to listen to. Let your anger out. And I did that. And I was living at that house share, and I'm always very conscious of other people. I'm respectful, but I put on my Bose speaker and I just blared 6ix9ine songs on repeat. Just blaring that shit, screaming the lyrics. Normally I'm very self-conscious. I don't sing in front of people, but I was just letting it go. And I drove to the 7-Eleven down the street. I forget what I was getting, like Diet Mountain Dew or something, or like fucking, maybe I got a can of chewed tobacco because I was like stressed out. I don't know, whatever. And I was just blaring it, just fucking screaming the lyrics, and it felt good. It felt invigorating, and I started to feel something growing inside me. And I started praying. And as this was going on, I was applying to jobs that didn't really have luck. Not only for more money, but I was just unhappy. And I started praying. Please, God, change my life. 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 And what we focus on, we manifest. Similarly to how rejection breeds obsession, that's part of the reason why heartbreak hurts so much, is because we obsess about it, because we just want that. We don't want to lose. And the seed that I dropped into the soil began to flower. And within a few weeks, I got like 5 job interviews. Aced them all. I had offers, I had options now. It was a week before I had to move out of my house, and I found an apartment and moved in within a week. How could that have happened? You know, the relationship thing didn't end up turning out, but I felt more positive about it. I was able to self-reflect and learn things about myself that, you know, there were changes that I needed to make, and I had to build my character. And you can't do that when you're with somebody else. And so in that way, I'm grateful. I've learned a lot about myself. And, you know, I found an apartment. I managed to figure out the whole debt situation. You know, I had like job offers now, and I actually ended up getting promoted at my job, making like 20,000 more, just under 20,000 more a year. So like that turned around. And I gotta say, if it wasn't for a simple thing like that YouTube video and simply praying, I don't think I would have made it through, because that was the darkest point of my life. I was miserable. I was hurt. I was depressed. I felt like everything was working against me. And I just had faith that God was looking over me, whether I believed it or not at first. Because as I said, I was agnostic. I didn't necessarily believe in God. But I lent the credence to just that faith. And things turned around, and here I am today. I made it through. I'm stronger than I've ever been. And here's just my overall message if you've made it this far. And if you have, thank you. But when you get in these negative circumstances and you get pessimistic, we become what we focus on. And just as when the negativity manifests, the same can happen with positivity. When one thing positive happens, they often say negative things come in 3s and positive things come in 1s. But yes, that's true to a point, I feel. In my case, it was like 10 negatives to 1 positive. But you can just change your perspective. It's easier said than done, but once that one positive thing happens, no matter how trivial, you know, you just got to build off that. And, you know, there's times where think about it like this. You just get a haircut, right? You feel good. You feel good. You know, maybe you're a little less stressed. So like, you're going to the gym, you're feeling better about yourself, you just got a sick pump, you feel great. You got a haircut. You're feeling confident. That feeling where you get some new clothes, you get new shoes, and you dress up in your full new attire. You feel confident. And just something like that, it gives you a level of confidence and positivity and optimism, and then maybe you're more likely to talk to girls or guys, depending on whatever your situation is. Maybe you're more confident, and that's portrayed. You have an aura around you, and it's a more positive circumstance, and you're more likely to either get a number or get a date or just make a friend, you know? And doing kind things for other people. That's a huge thing when you're depressed, is just doing things to help others. Not because it's going to benefit you in any way. Not because there's something for you to gain narcissistically, but because you want to help somebody. And whether it's something as simple as cleaning your room, or cleaning the kitchen, or if you live at your parents' house, doing the dishes for them, or, you know, whatever it'll be, doing laundry. Do something that helps others. It also helps to do what I did, write it out, write exactly what you're feeling, what you would have liked to say, what you could have done different. You know, just express yourself. And it doesn't have to be writing. It could be drawing, it could be painting, it could be playing music, it could be singing, it could be doing yoga or meditation, it could be working out. I feel like art forms usually do the best in terms of self-expression. But just do that, and don't do what I did, resorting to drugs and alcohol. Because I'll tell you right now, it's highly addictive, and the chances that once you get started, you're going to get out, there's slim to none. You know, and alcoholism runs in my family. And the fact that I was able to get out before I did, like before it was too late, I'm thankful. I'm very thankful. And luckily, you know, I stopped before it was too late. And in terms of suicide, if you're ever contemplating suicide, just don't do it. As Tekashi 69 said, it's not cool. And there's people that will miss you. Regardless if you feel it or not, it's true. And if I can get through what I got through, you definitely can too. You just gotta be strong. Be strong and don't give in. And just have faith that things will get better. Because once you hit rock bottom, the good thing about being at rock bottom is the only place to go is up. And it's good to feel the emotion. You know, and every emotion, feeling depressed and crying, just let it out. Let it out. Cry, sob, beat the shit out of your pillow. Just let it out. Catharsis. And just get through it. And if you're ever feeling alone, just know you're not alone. There's people you could talk to. If you don't have friends, you don't have family in a similar situation that I had, maybe see a therapist. Maybe see a psychologist. Maybe call one of those helplines that they have. They have endless numbers, suicide hotlines and everything. Just call. Because you don't want to make that eternal mistake of costing your life. Email me if you need to. Whether you need advice or guidance or you just want someone to talk to, just email. It's simple. I try to get back as soon as I can. But I hope this video helped, guys. This is a very emotional topic, but I feel like it can help people because, you know, depression and anxiety, things like that, they're no joke, and they're not something to be taken lightly. And sometimes it's hard to empathize with, but it's something that we all go through. And at one point or another, chances are you'll go through it too. And just deal with it in a healthy way. And just work on yourself and work on doing the right things, and don't do stupid things like resorting to drugs. You know, whether it's alcohol or marijuana or benzodiazepines or anything like that. Just try to deal with it in a healthy way and just be responsible. So that's my uplifting message to end the video off, I guess, if that's really uplifting. But I'm hoping to put some more videos out really soon. I'm going to record another one right now and see if I can get it to upload. But if not, it'll be up within the next couple days. Let me know what you guys think. Definitely give this video a like. Because why not? And drop a comment. if you can kind of relate to the story, because I definitely like to hear the feedback and kind of ways that you guys have gone about getting through hard times. Hopefully it's not through drugs and alcohol, but I don't know. It's up to you guys, but I'll talk to you guys in the next video. That was the weirdest closeout I've ever had, but I'll see you guys around. Peace.